Well, hello everyone. Oh, let me move my camera first. Hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. Okay, we've got an action-packed show for you. But to my side here, of course, well, sometimes I want to go like that. We have Lady G. We're in a kind of glorious, kind of kimono-esque kind of florid colors, so I can see why Sheila was complimenting that dress.
Oh, it's
Oh,
divine.
beautiful. Oh, love it, love it. And
I always
just
feel like a bag lady compared with Lady G. Bless you for that.
bless. And then, of course, down here to my side here, we have Sheila, of course, who is joining us. And there's a kind of, I'm noticing, is there a bit more pink here, Sheila, tonight? Is that a nice bit of kind of like eyeshadow something?
Did I put too much blush on? I occasionally overdo.
Nice. No, it looks nice. And of course, down under, we have Lena, of course, with her wonderful teal glasses and sort of a pale sort of purple something going on there, which of course
sort of jacaranda, really.
Indeed, which of course contrasts with your flame-colored hair. So, right, oh my goodness, guys. There is a lot of ground to cover today. So ladies will be doing one card pulls again. The questions actually went in a little bit later today. I only put them in today and I thought, oh, well, we'll have about 6 or 7 questions, which will be about the show. Ended up with 4 pages.
Oh my God.
4 pages. Yeah. So thank you for your questions. We're going to do our best to get through as many as we can. There are many things that are kind of coming up, and we'll just have to kind of like get through it. There is so much happening. Something to mention as well, I've put here as well. We want to also give a shout out. Many of you may know the news already, but sadly, Libby of Magister Tarot, her mother passed away recently. So we just want to say commiserations and give our love and compassion. And we've been emailing, and she went very peacefully. And it seems like she was a very fine lady who kind of passed as she lived, and was very much loved and upstanding character. So yeah, so our thoughts are with you, Libby, and of course we look forward to having you back on the show at some point in the future. But I understand it is an absolute knocks the legs out of you, especially when our mums pass. That is often a huge thing. Today we're going to be having the international element as we usually have. We're going to be doing Japan, and then we're going to be doing Marine Le Pen, and then, of course, the absolute carnage of what is unfolding in front of our eyes, which is just astonishing. So let's do one card pulls. We're just going to kind of get through. We're going to do a Shakespeare on Michael Rutte if we get the chance. We may do a full card pull on Mimi Misha's question, which is Elon and potential Neuralink. Oh, it's a bit sinister though, but we have to go there. And let's begin. So first question in is from Nick Minks. And she says, Japan has restarted operations at the world's largest nuclear plant for the first time since the 2011 Fukushima disaster forced the country to shut all of its reactors. Do the cards show whether this is a wise move, especially with seismic activity along the Ring of Fire? So it seems Fukushima is back, but is it a wise idea? One card pull.
A shout out to Alan at Beekeeper Tarot. He's always here. Hi, Alan.
Hello, Alan. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, Fukushima, and then Marine Le Pen, and then the rest. Oh my God.
See, just while we're shuffling, the problem with Ukraine, that because there's so much else going on, they had to emergency shut down all their nuclear plants, and they should actually take years to shut down the actual process. And when they're done in a crisis like Fukushima, or in Ukraine, it compromises the system.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because I think the idea is once they're going, they're not really supposed to stop. They're supposed to just kind of keep knocking along. All right. Are we ready? Okay, so after 3, 1. Oh, and we'll be starting Lady G. We would go clockwise as usual. Yep. So Lady G, you'll be first after 3. 1, 2, 3. So Fukushima, was it a good idea? How do you interpret your card?
Well, I've got the 10 of Wands, so big burden with having to watch that. And unfortunately, I knew people in Fukushima. I spent time there.
Wow.
But
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
great idea. It's something that they're really going to have to be careful with.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got TikTok, and the thing in deadline time is running out. Oh, unknown caller. I don't want that one. Anyways, so I'm thinking, you know, when somebody says TikTok, it's usually a warning or a threat. Yes. Of some sort. So I'm kind of thinking that they are moving forward with something. There's something there that they're worried about. So I don't really know much about the story, so it was a little bit of a cold read for me. So that's what I got.
All right. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, TikTok. Here we've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is about time too. And so it wouldn't have been the card I'd chosen for them for a good run, you know. Yeah,
indeed. And with my card here, forgive me as I'm shuffling around my papers and trying to make sure I've got everything in the right numbered order. Yes, I have. Here, it's almost like, well, look, I've got the ace. I've got the Ace of Swords. Aces in general are kind of yes cards, so obviously they've started the thing up, and it's kind of like this is like the sword of truth. And in a way, it's kind of like, I feel like it's almost like an experiment. It is like the proof is in the pudding. They're like, well, we've begun now. We've started it off again now. We need the energy. Crossing fingers. I feel like it's that kind of thing. But it could end up being more of a burden. They obviously need the energy. Otherwise, they wouldn't have started up Fukushima again. But my whole argument is when it comes to nuclear, don't build it on coastlines, near water, near near earthquake fault lines. It's just
perhaps don't build it.
Yeah, exactly. And if you do, you're supposed to put them in the middle of nowhere, not near sea or stuff. You know. But anyway, so I don't know. I think they're going to find out soon whether or not it's worked. Oh dear, the world. All right. Let's move on to the next question. That one will definitely be number 5. And then I'll see which one's number 6. Oh, God, there's so many different things going on. All right, question number 2. Let's go to... This is someone we've not read on for a while, actually. And this is coming from Alexandra. Thank you, Alexandra, for your question. I think you're new. I've not seen your name before. And they say Marine Le Pen is in the middle of appealing her corruption and embezzlement conviction now. She's been she's got 5 years. She's been locked up for 5 years or something.
Yeah.
If she does, will she be eligible to run? What do the cards say about the outcome? So let's take a look at Marine Le Pen.
She's hard right, far right, white supremacist, daughter of a white supremacist in France, just to fill everyone in.
Indeed. And let's get a bit of Shakespeare on her as well.
Yeah.
And I want to get a bit of Shakespeare on Mr. Rutte as well, plus Shakespeare. So one card pull, starting this time with Sheila. I know it might be a bit of a cold read for you, Sheila, but Marine Le Pen, she's been quite the factor in Europe. Let's put it that way, in France. Marine Le Pen, what's going on with Marine Le Pen? All right, there we go. All right, after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Huh. I get
Ooh.
surveillance. So like you're right, it's a cold read for me. This is the first time hearing it, but surveillance is there, people are going to be watching her, but surveillance is more like secretly watching her. And then so I pulled another card, and the other one is suffering in silence. So I think if I'm going to read this, real feelings, broken dreams, I don't think she has a chance in heck to continue on with her rhetoric and whatever she is doing, because there's some people out there that really are paying attention to her, and I don't think the attention is good. So that's what I got. I don't know anything about her.
All right. Okay. Yeah, no, makes sense though with what you said. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, the judgment card for Marine Le Pen. Two things come to my mind with this. One is the judgment was she couldn't hold a public office for 5 years or 7 years or something. That's expiring. But I think the people have made their judgment by and large. I think they're a bit sick of her. And the other aspect of judgment, I think, is all these people have financial corruption in their doings. And I think there might be another judgment. She might get cleared to go ahead with this, but there'll be another judgment. And I'd bet it's financial.
Wow. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, absolutely. That would make sense. Here, well, my card's pretty straightforward. I don't think she's going to be leaving the courts for a while. So here we can literally see the judge. I mean, sorry, this is literally the oh, my mind's gone blank. It's not. It's the
Marine Le Pen.
Yeah. My mind is lit. Justice. That's justice. That's it. Bloody hell. My God, my mind went blank. Yeah. So look, we can see here, this is talking about legalities, all of this different stuff. I think it's going to be like whack-a-mole with her. I feel like she will challenge one case, try and get freed from prison on another one, and then they just come up with another case because these guys are so corrupt. They've probably got a whole dossier on her. Lady G?
Well, I'm using the Alice in Wonderland deck. And I got the Red Queen, off with her head. So the death card, an ending to this. Yes.
Love that.
Yeah. She looks like she's toast, isn't it? Looks like she is. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be going so well for Marine Le Pen. Let's get a little bit of Shakespeare on Marine Le Pen, and then we're going to go to, I think his name's Michael Rutte, who is been bigging up Donald Trump, calling him daddy and all of this kind of stuff, and it's just
weird stuff.
Oh, it's just extraordinary. And also as well, I only learned today, and this came through to me on Instagram, and I was listening to a very smart guy discuss maybe what the real reasons for Trump wanting to take Greenland are. And I'm going to be, please remind me, ladies, towards the end of the show, I'm going to show everyone the website. I've in the video description, I've put a link to the little Instagram. It's only a minute and a half. And I have put the link into a specific website. But we're going to look at this website together towards the end of the show. And you'll be like, aha, now I get it. All right. So it was Lena that went, wasn't it? Lena, did you do the Shakespeare last time?
Yeah, I think it's Lady G's turn.
Yeah, I think it's Lady G's turn because I think Sheila had a go as well. So, all right, Lady G, so you know the routine. This is going to be what the Bard thinks of Marine Le Pen.
And stop.
Oh. That one we've had before. Oh, this is interesting. So it's kind of like here it says, this is from Much Ado About Nothing. And the Bard said, scratching could not make it worse. Such a face as yours. Yeah.
That's a bit.
Yeah. Scratching could not make it worse. Such a face as yours. And then the next page, this one we've heard before, it says, thy mother took into her blameful bed some stern, untutored churl whose fruit thou art. Yeah.
Oh,
which of course
because she is her father's daughter. You know, that's her big claim to fame.
Yeah. So even though that one's come out before, we see how relevant it is for Marine Le Pen, because she is very much the fruit of her father and carried on his legacy. So yeah, the bard strikes again.
Oh my God, bless the bard.
Indeed.
And thank you to Karen for the donation. She's also got ice in her city in Portland.
Oh yes, I was just going to click on that as well. So I want to say thank you to so much for the donation. And then here Karen says, ice is in my state of main city of Portland, bothering people who have been here a decade or more. So this is all, guys, you remember with the astrology, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but you remember I said, guys, we're going to be going into this age and it's going to feel like the 1930s again. I mean, just look, it's just absolutely bonkers. So we're going to get Shakespeare on this as well. And this is coming from Jerry Gelding. And she's put here, after the felon's dreadful speech at the World Economic Forum, I watched bits of it. And you're just like, someone just pull the ripcord now. I mean, it's like he's wandered onto stage. It's like it's time to put grandpa to bed. It's just really, anyway, after the felon's dreadful speech, and then of course contrasted with Mark Carney, who we also need to talk about as well. Or not Michael, it's Mark Rutte met with the regime team where his ass kissing was on full display, thanking 45 for all he has accomplished over the past year. And I think he was calling him daddy as well. It's just ridiculous. Given that the felon is trying to dismantle NATO, where exactly are Rutte's loyalties? What is his future with NATO? So let's pull on Mark Rutte, who again is sort of like he's like a far righty type leader, isn't he? I think isn't he the co-leader of Holland, Netherlands, Lena?
Oh,
he's because there was this young candidate that came up, and I think they've had to share power, or he won, but but his majority was much reduced. All right, so Mark Rutte,
it says a Dutch political leader.
Netherlands, Dutch, Netherlands.
Okay.
To the right, kind of came in on a big mandate, new elections, much reduced, but I think still in power. Mark Rutte, what's going on with him? So this time,
we're just asking what's going on with him.
Yeah, what's going on with him, and how does he feel about NATO? And this time it will be Lena going first.
Oh,
ready? Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So Lena, have your card?
I've got the devil card. I've got the devil card. So with everyone else in the entire world spinning out about Trump's inadequacies, his viciousness, his instability, his everything, this guy comes up and goes, gee, you've done a good job. You've put the Gestapo on the streets, right? This is the devil card moving right along. That's me.
Gosh. My card here, weirdly enough, I get the King of Cups, which we normally associate with democracy, isn't it? We normally associate with
those
democracy.
Were the days.
Yeah, those were the days. I think these interpretations, I have to take the shadow interpretation on this. When the card is seen in its positive light, it can talk about the positives of the divine masculine and a man who's in tune with his creative and emotional nature, etc. However, the shadow of this card can talk about a man that is extremely manipulative. I think this is just a kind of a charm offensive by Mr. Rutte to try and stay within the charms of Trump, because maybe he might want that play. He might want a position on that, you know, the Board of Peace. Have you heard about this?
No.
Have you heard about the Board of Peace? So the Board of Peace is this new organization that Trump wants to get together, which has got every dictator. It's basically, it is a beauty pageant of dictatorship.
Yes.
And that's the only way I can describe it. And I find it interesting. It's called the Board of Peace. It's almost like Trump is now bored of peace. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Anyway, it's about seduction. And I think he wants to be on this Board of Peace to join the other dictators. Lady G?
Well, I got the card, the Two of Wands. So figuring out his next move overseas, and underneath of it all, he thinks this is going to strengthen him.
Yeah, thought so. Yeah, seduction. Sheila?
Okay. I always get the weird cards, man. I got healing. So I don't know much about this guy, but I don't know if he thinks he's God. I don't know if he's like worships in like a religious or something like that. But I get the feeling that he really wants Trump to heal. Like he wants him to get better, so because he really, really, really likes him or something. It's a weird feeling I'm get with the healing, like, oh, please heal him. But whatever you guys say, I don't know. I mean, I drew another card from my true crime, and it said burial, so I don't know.
The cards are discombobulated. They're just like...
I always get the weird ones, man.
Oh, indeed. Oh, we got a little bit of feedback here. Let's just see here. So here we go. Mirth said, Rutte is Secretary General of NATO. He's a center-right guy. His political party is for individual freedom, private enterprises, economic liberalism, pragmatic governments. So, okay, that's an interesting thingy bob there. And then the Board of Peace is literally just another grift. To be on the board, people have to pay $1 billion. Same script, different day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Who was that? That was Shisha. Yeah, exactly, Shisha. Oh my God, it's all bonkers. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep up this pace, because we will have to dwell when it comes to question number 6. So we'll keep our gallop going. So that was question number 3 that we just did. Oh, let's get the bard on Mark Rutte. So it was Lady G, you just went, isn't it? So shall we do Sheila, and then if we can squeeze in one more, you, Lena? Yeah. Yeah.
So Sheila.
We'll do Sheila. Okay. So let's flick through. So you know the routine. This is what the bard thinks of Mark Rutte.
Stop.
Oh, I'm just here. Like it's here. My finger's actually here. Yeah. Oh, what was that? It's so interesting because we do get these repeats. Let's go one more time. Okay. Because it keeps falling. And there's so many quotes in here, but it's astonishing how many it comes up at the same ones.
Stop.
All right. Yeah, this is so interesting. This is what he says about Mark Rutte. He said, this is from King John. Thou monstrous injurer of heaven and earth.
Wow. Not good.
And then I think the next page is even more pertinent. And this is from Troilus and Cressida. It says, idol of idiot worshippers.
That's perfect.
That's perfect, isn't it? Idol of idiot worshippers.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Trying to appease, trying to do all of this kind of stuff. It's just absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's move on to question number 4. And again, this is, many of you are reacting, of course, to Davos, the whole global stage. And by its very nature, have you noticed, guys, the questions are becoming more and more international as Ducklarange's unhinged behavior increasingly affects more of the world. So this is coming from Mimi Misha. So thank you so much for your question. This is a bit of a longer one. I do prefer the shorter questions, but let's just squeeze it in. So she says, hey fam, as a mental health professional, so she's obviously does that as a profession, I've struggled to understand the extreme, ill-advised level of obsequiousness of world leaders towards the malignant narcissist in chief over the past 10 years. And what seemed like their inability to grasp that they were helping to usher in their own and the world's collective undoing. Have we finally reached the point where world leaders directly call him out and initiate broad plans to take him down, including releasing the Epstein files? Yeah, I had to actually write the rest in by hand, actually, because the printer didn't print the rest. So we can look at that. One thing I will definitely add to that, we need to talk about Mark Carney, and then we need to talk about the Danish guy that told, Danish minister that told Trump to F off. I don't know if you guys saw that, but so let's do a one card point on this. Have we finally reached the point where world leaders directly call him out and initiate broad plans to take him down? Yeah, so it would be starting with me, I suppose, this time. All right.
Okay.
I was hoping for somebody in the audience and calling him, being that Ford employee doing the same thing there, but that's just wishful thinking.
Well,
you can't get him fired.
Yeah, not at Davos. I mean, they're all in on it. I mean, they are the cabal, aren't they?
Yes, it's not going to happen at Davos.
Yeah, they have a lot. They have a lot of rules that that keep everybody in decorum. So.
And they don't like him. When Trump's there, they don't like him, but still, they want to benefit. All right, let's see here. Leaders hold to account. Let's have a look. All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at this. Oh. Well, I think, wow, a picture paints 1,000 words, doesn't it? But it's going to be so interesting to hear what the ladies have to share and say with their cards. All right, look at this.
You're first.
I get the Magician. Yeah, I get the Magician. And this is very, very interesting for me, seeing this card. The Magician, of course, if we look here, is part of the expression of the Hermetic, as above, so below, as within, as without, and yada, yada, the rest of it. So what this says to me is that this is a card of using every resource at your disposal. Yeah, every resource at your disposal. This is a card of self-initiation and power and self-actualization. So I think for me, what this says is that the world, and particularly, did any of you guys listen to Mark Carney's speech? Yeah, who was like the grown-up in the room, and basically saying American hegemony is over, and mid-sized countries like ours need to band together based on mutual values and principles and not be overrun. So I think in a way, this is almost like Mark Carney here, but being the lightning rod for how the rest of the world feels. And this tells me the global order has changed.
Yes,
it has. Because everyone realizes now that Trump is a lunatic, an absolute loony bin. And when I share with you the website of the vision of these tech bros, you'll come to understand. So what I would say is, yes, the world leaders are actually standing up. And I think when they put those troops in Greenland, have you noticed that Ducklarange has backed off a little bit because they realize, oh, no, this will actually be armed conflict.
Major.
Yeah. And this could also be, yeah, exactly. This could also be the bazooka. Yeah, you guys have been hearing about the financial bazooka. Put it this way, if this financial implementation is launched by Europe, it's the end of the US economy. I'll talk about it in my Hogarth's financial astrology. Anyway, moving on. Yes, they will stand up. Lady G.
Well, this is an unusual deck, and what I got was enchantment. And
interesting.
You could see that he was trying to bamboozle people, but they're not buying it any longer. And what I wanted to pull was from the Noir Tarot, and we've got the window, so they're looking out at all the crimes he's committing and stuff. So yeah, the enchantment is ending. They're just not wanting to see him any longer and moving forward, looking at his crimes.
Wow. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got the Tower. I mean, we could go literal, but I think as I'm pulling this, delusion is blown away. The delusion of what United States used to represent, respectable, giant, this, that, and the other. Not all of it was true, but that's how we really went out into the world, and we had that kind of a force of it. And their delusion is just blown away. They're like, I cannot believe what's going on. And therefore, they're getting to the point where they're going to have to start standing up for their own countries. They're going to have to start standing up for their own people. And it makes a huge difference when you have to go, no, and we're going to be over here going, we don't think so, honey. So.
Yeah. Same. Thank you. Lena, your card.
Yes, building on both those cards. Exactly. This is Europe having to defend itself.
Wow.
Fully now, and they're committing to that. And they were very worried and still are very worried. However, there are more people in Europe than the USA. And so I think they're bringing together their strength in a literal way here. Symbolically sending the troops to Greenland, but this is a whole new dimension for the EU and NATO, taking it on, head on.
Yeah, it's shifted, isn't it? And with the magician card as well, to me, it's like, they're taking their power. The world is taking its power into its own hands now. And of course, you guys don't need to write in the comments, I didn't vote for this man. We know that. We know you didn't vote for this. But unfortunately, the way it works with government and leaders, like I don't like Sakir Starmer. Now, I've never been a fan, yet he's the ruler of my country. I'm just like, that's the best, square box. Huh?
For now. I reckon there's going to be a leadership spill. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I sense it coming. He'll do well to make it to the next election. But look, the world has no choice.
Yes.
It has to be like the magician. It has to be like all those cards that we said, taking into our own hands and just make it. And I think Mark Carney really did. Not that I'm going to be like, worshipping at the foot of Davos and the World Economic Forum.
Statesman-like speech.
It was just as indeed, and he just kept it real. Okay, shall we move on to the next question? Because we're going to keep going at pace until we get to question number 6, which is going to require
I'm dreading 6.
I'm not looking forward to 6, but it has to be asked. Okay, so that was question number 4. Just to add, just to give that a shout out to Manuela Orchid, because she said, my second short question would be, does Europe say no to Europe about Greenland? And obviously we answered it, but it was such a nice, quick question. I thought it deserved the mention. All right. Question number 5. Oh God, these are so consequential. It's just like, it's like a smoldering rubble of questions. But anyway, Nick Minx says, and as the world face palms at the Tosbot's assertion, so she means Trump's assertions of domination, will any of the countries that hold US debt actually call the debt in?
Well, it's actually happening. just before we get into cards, it is happening.
Really?
So, yes, Japan has sold off. I thought China had the most bonds, Japan. And this week, India has sold off billions of US bonds. So it's happening. So I think we need to tweak the question. Will this be a domino effect of this? Does that make sense for people?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah. Wow. I knew it was coming. So you see that, like for me, that, you know, with that magician card and then all the other cards that we got, it was like a fait accompli. It's like it's already turned into the new reality. Oh my gosh. Will this be a domino effect? Will more countries sell off US debt? Oh God.
More countries.
Oh,
Good question.
Great question. And also as well, I just want to say, folks, none of us really want the US dollar to collapse or anything like that. Because let me just let you know, YouTube pays in dollars.
For purely selfish reasons.
I mean, just
I didn't catch. What did he say? What did you say?
I said YouTube pays in dollars.
Yes,
yes, yes, they do.
Yeah, it's astonishing. All right, one card pull. I mean, yeah, that was just pure self-interest there on that. Well, not self-interest, but just to give you the insight, which is ironic, isn't it? But what has to happen is what has to happen. I've already accepted whatever the fate is. All right, after 3. So will this be a domino effect? Lady G going first. 1, 2, 3. Oh God, look at the cards. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh my God.
We have to prepare.
Well, I got the Emperor, and then I wanted to pull one also from the astrology, and I got the second house resources, and they've taken aim. And then with the Emperor, of course, this is somebody, the movers and the shakers. So yeah, they're standing up, taking aim, and getting those resources back.
Wow. That could be Duck L'Orange. It's the Emperor with, but it's a walrus.
That's what I thought too.
It's a walrus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Sheila,
he's a yeti and a walrus.
Yeah.
Well,
Sheila,
my card was trapped. My card was trapped. It kind of feels like they're being strapped and I got strangulation. Of course, my true crime cards got some strong words, but they're strapped. They don't know what to do either. So they have to, like I said, it goes back to they have to take care of their own countries, and without the United States being the big kahuna, they have to just pull their energy away from it. They know at some point in time, they all gonna know we've got to stop relying on the United States because they're not stable anymore. So I just kind of feel like it's gonna slowly and surely the countries that can do it will do it.
Wow. Lena, how do you interpret your card, which is
the walking away? And like I said, it's already happening in all sorts of ways. The selling of bonds, but also Trump's behaviour is the biggest gift to the BRICS country collection that could be imagined. And so they're now starting to trade full-time in yen. Also, the Middle East, because of the American sanctions on Iran that have been there for decades, they've been trading oil to Russia and China in yen for decades, which undermined the petrodollar. So this has a history, but this is an acceleration of people moving away from the US dollar.
Oh, man. Oh. Well, look, my card barely needs more interpretation, really, does it? I mean, because the cards have been so clear. You don't even need to be a tarot reader to understand any of the cards that we've pulled, because they've all been dire. And look, this is it. Look, like in terms of, I think for Americans that are sane, which are clearly those that are watching us and channels like ours and stuff like that, this has been a nightmare. Yeah, it's a nightmare for every sane American out there. This is sleepless nights, stress and worry. But this has also been the sleepless nights and stress and worry of countries that have relied on America. And you guys will remember, I think in the last show, do you remember I said, for China to win, all it has to do is absolutely nothing.
Nothing, exactly.
It may not even have to invade. Yeah, it may not even have to invade Taiwan. Taiwan may just voluntarily offer itself, because when you see the Mad King and this nutbag, these are all these smaller countries that were relying as well on America's support, but not just the smaller countries. This is also Europe as well.
Yes.
Just being like, what is going on? These are the people of Greenland. This would be Ukraine. Anyone that relies extensively on American support. The whole world is in a state of anguish, and well, we can just hope that, you know, the gods may deliver us of this incredibly ridiculous person. But
and can I just take a moment here on a more optimistic note, which is, whenever an empire falls, whether it was Spain in the 1500s or the UK or, you know, different powers that have come, even if America does come down to a middle power at the end of all of this, people make it through. Hoagie and I have both witnessed the end of the British Empire technically.
Yeah,
a lot of the colonies became independent and so on in the 50s and 60s and 70s. If you were at the beginning of it, you'd think, oh, I couldn't survive the end of the empire. But you do. So just take heart from that. Even if it comes to that, it's a big shake-up. But you will survive the other side of it. And in America's case, perhaps have a more equal wealth distribution on the other side of it.
Fascinating, yeah, indeed.
Agreed.
And I just gonna post up this little this comment here, a bit of pushback actually to what we said earlier, and I welcome different opinions. So Fizzler says Rutte is a liberal. I can't believe how wrong you all are, biased from the misdirection at the beginning. So what's the jury on that then? Is he is he liberal, or is he more? I thought he was more to the
European
right.
liberal. Mea culpa. I was going off what was being said, which was he praised Trump for his last year in office. That to me puts him out of liberal with a small L or a big L and over the other side of the fence. But that's me. I'm just a stroppy old bag.
It's fine, no problem. And Raymond says NATO not allowing Trump's oppression. Yeah, that's a good one there. And we're gonna finish on, I know where we're gonna end, and I want us to end on Usha's pregnancy apparently, so we'll have a little chat about that. All right, question number 6. Brace yourselves for this one. This hadn't even entered my head, although I have done a video on Neuralink years ago now, and I said humanity would part in 2 ways. Those that take the chips in the head and stuff, and those that don't. But this is the first turn I've seen on this. It's quite a long one again, but it's worth a read out, and we'll do a full card pull on this. But brace yourselves, it is also a bit dark. All right, this is from Mimi Misha. She says, "Hi Hoagie and beautiful spiritual warriors. Various reports have suggested that detainees have disappeared from DHS/ICE databases, and speculation about their whereabouts have ranged from unaliving to human trafficking." So apparently these people are now disappeared. I mean, they're being dragged off into obscurity anyway, but apparently they're being disappeared from databases. Considering the dark psychological profiles of the main players in the destruction of the US, an old world order for the purpose of amassing grotesque levels of power and wealth, I have a vision that sends a chill down my spine. What do the cards say about the possibility that some percentage of the detainees are being used for experimentation? Yeah. Think Elon and Neuralink. Thank you for all that you do to help us navigate this insane period of time. And although it's a dark question, I think it is a valid one, because these people are just aping every single thing they can from, you know, the Nazi regimes.
Yeah. And look, this isn't new. Medical experiments were carried out on prisoners and black populations for the last century. The same with Aboriginal people in Australia. They were used for medical experiments, psychological experiments and stuff. So this isn't a brand new day.
Yeah. It's a long history. Let's do a full card pull on it just to see, to give us a bit of a breather and flesh this out. And what is it? Who needs to go first next? Sorry. I went. Sheila. Is it Lady G or is it Sheila? I think it's Sheila.
Sheila goes first. I went first last time.
All right, so it's Sheila. All right, so full card pull. Are these people who are being disappeared, snatched off the streets? We know they're being tortured. We know that already. But is there more to it? Is there experimentation? Could Elon be using them for Neuralink? Oh, my God. Oh. Let's see here.
Terrible.
They're being used for experiment.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get through this without crying. So.
Oh, bless.
I've had quite a bit of feeling, because here in Colorado, we locally put on a whole bunch of information about the indigenous women who have been stolen and taken, since we're so close to like so I have been involved in trying to find them and trying to figure out what's going on with them and stuff like that. And when they're found, there's been like 2 of them that have been found and they have come back and said that they were trafficked.
Wow.
No doubt. But usually they said we're a miracle, because usually they end our lives at the end.
Wow.
So like I said, I don't know. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is a dark question. I get a power supply and dismemberment.
Oh, God.
That's
Wow.
what I said. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to also go first, because
No, don't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it's
I just
so
kind
dark.
of have the feeling. I mean, the legal proceedings and the secrets. It's like the judges know. It's like going. It's like legally going through the whole system and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna leave it there.
No, that's fine. If you want to stop there, that's fine. And that's why I said, you know, it is a very dark thing, and particularly what is emerging with Epstein files and all this stuff. And it's a lot of ugly that is coming up to the surface, isn't it? It is very, very dark. But we have to face where it's going, and because it can't continue. It can't continue. So Sheila, I can completely understand. And my cards very different, but it shows the motivation. Lena, would you like to go?
Mine are telling a story, but fortunately I changed decks so it wouldn't be so graphic. So I've gone back to the traditional decks. Well, the answer to the question is yes, and in many different ways.
Wow.
Now, the famous return on investment card in your terms, Hoagie, it's like, oh, let's do this and see what happens, right? You know, it's like that. It will actually, this is the Tower card and not a minute too soon. I think we'll find out before very long what is happening to some extent. This is very sudden. and shocking to people. This is a whistleblower, could even be an ICE whistleblower or an ex-Doge employee or someone close to you or a doctor or a combination of those things. This is a whistleblower. Wow. And knowing it could only happen during the reign of the Yeti, the heart of stone, the stone throne, yes. But this is, I think it will be exposed sooner rather than later.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, all right. The cards that I've got are actually really crystal clear, but this is talking more about the financial side here. So
there's always money.
They're making money off this as well.
Of course.
Like it's like they're snatching the people, and it's like there's this whole other industry going on. Because when I look at the cards, I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
So look at that. Like Lena, I get the Emperor as well. And we know the shadow interpretation of this card is kind of like a kind of a maniacal supremacist sort of energy. It's absolute patriarchy, my way or the highway. As you guys know, when I've been reading on Trump, I've been getting the Emperor a lot for him because he's gone full whack bonkers. But this is talking about the energy behind it. It's this kind of imperialist energy in the sense that you are fodder. Your bodies are there to be used by us. And you know how Stephen Miller and all the other douchebags are saying, we're predators, we're predators. You know, they're saying we're predators. So this is the shadow of this predatory, dictatorial energy. I own you and your body. Yeah. Just in case you weren't sure, who's kind of helping all of this? King of Pentacles. Yeah. My card for the oligarchs. Yeah? This is the oligarchs. This is the tech bros. These are the lobbyists, you know, these are, you know, the Vaseline politicians.
Peter
as you know,
Thiel.
Yeah. It's the money men. Yeah. They're the ones who are behind it. And just in case we weren't sure, look what comes out next. The Ace of Pentacles. So they see this as a money-making opportunity. It wouldn't be surprising me if they were snatching organs and stuff like that as well. I mean, why not? You may just
they're so
carry
depraved.
on. Yeah, they're depraved. We know from the testament of, isn't it, from what's his name, Sasha Riley. I've not read his testament, but a lot of people saying all of the extra stuff that's going on. So for them, it's like another means to make money. Yeah, it's another business. Oh, so what if you know, if people know we've been doing it for years. Yeah. Prison system as well, all of that stuff. If we look here, they want to preserve it. They want to hold on to it. This is why it persists, because there are too many people that are trying to protect either their standard of living, their status, their job titles, what have you. All of the ones that are supporting this, they're wanting to protect themselves. And then here we've got the envoy, the so-called charming prince, well, not prince, but the knight. This to me says they're going to do the PR on it. They're going to put out, you know, little words and statements, but it's not going to be authentic. It's not going to be genuine, because at the end of the day, they're making money out of it. The billionaires are in on it, and the powerful like it. So it's dark, but that's just what is being proven, isn't it, Lady G?
Well, the light on the subject is about the Queen of Swords, which is the truth, the Five of Fire, which is the struggle that's going on with this. And so the energy coming into it, what's new, is about the Lovers and the Devil. So trafficking and those involved with it. What's going on now, the key is about the oppression, 10 of Wands, and the zenith, the wealth behind it. So again, money-making opportunity in trafficking, organs, whatever.
Wow.
So the challenge is the craftiness, what they're doing, blocking the information. And under it, we have the narcissists, the ones like Trump and the narcissists out there that are doing this. Potential outcome, we have the narcissists, we have Trump, what's under the surface, and then the lid coming off on what they're doing. Outside influence is about the divergent path. When it comes to the long term, the key is about 10 of fire, again, the burden called the cage. So yeah, long term, caging these people, using them for whether it's experiments, whether it's trafficking, whether it's harvesting organs, but eventually the truth will come out and we'll see what's under the surface with all of this.
My goodness. Wow. My gosh. I mean, it was a dark question, and I know that was very intense and emotional, and I hope people weren't too triggered by that. But at the end of the day, these are things that are happening. We know these are facts. ICE is snatching people off the streets, and we don't know where they're being taken. And of course, it was a very valid question. And we've seen, of course, in the case of, Renee Nicole Good being just shot in the face, what have you. We've got naked lawlessness here. One of the things I want to quickly show, and then we're going to do a pull. We're going to do a read on Usha Vance's pregnancy. So at least that kind of changes the tone a little bit. But in vis-a-vis Greenland, now I stumbled across Instagram. I put the link to the guy. I'm not going to show his video, but a very intelligent British guy spoke about why Trump may really want Greenland after all. This is probably it. I'm going to share with you. Have you guys heard of what are they called? Let me just call again. Praxis Nation. Have you guys heard of Praxis Nation? All right. I'm going to share my screen with you, and you just have to see this to bloody believe this. So here we are. I put the link to their website in my video description. Here we go. So can you guys see the screen? Yeah? Yeah. I can't see myself. Yeah? So it's called Reunite the West, the world's first digital nation. Yeah? They've got over 150,000 people who have joined this. And the value of Praxis founded companies is over 1 billion. This is their vision about Praxis. Praxis is the world's first digital nation, a home of the brave to strive for virtue and wisdom. Our purpose is to restore Western civilization and pursue our ultimate destiny of life among the stars. Yeah. So this is all this. It's like you've got all these different things, digital nations, internet native organizations, shared culture, blah, blah, blah. They want to create their own utopia in Greenland. Look at this, artificial intelligence, building scaled power data centers. Remember, Greenland is nice and cold. No need for that fresh water. Crypto, simple crypto regulations, energy, biotech. This is the citizen map. Yeah, you can see all the people all over the world that have bought into this. Yeah, you can see here, mainly in America, Europe, Australia, a bit of New Zealand, even a bit of Africa, India, and all over the place. Praxian way of life, and inspired by the wisdom of great civilizations, we believe that true sovereignty is achieved through alignment with the transcendent. You can read this for yourself. Look at these utopian visions here that they want to kind of create, I presume, on Greenland. And then how to become a citizen. You have to give them money. This is the citizenship card. And you can see all of this kind of stuff here. So let me just stop the share there. So you could see that for yourself. What this guy was talking about, which is absolutely bang on. This is all backed by Peter Thiel, by the way. Peter Thiel, the guy who is Sam Altman, yeah, the guy who does ChatGPT. You know, I'm always cussing out a bit of ChatGPT. Yeah, OpenAI. I'm not saying don't use AI. What I'm just saying is just understand what the people behind it, what their intentions are. It's not for our benefit. They want to take themselves off to Greenland so they can create their own nation of digital, this, that, and the other. They probably want to get into those bunkers that they built in the 1950s. Remember, they're all still there. Think about it. America technically has everything it can want from Greenland. It already has military access, contracts to the minerals, everything. Why do they need to invade? Why do they need to take it? It's for the tech bros who have been feeding Trump all of the money all along. This is why as well he pardoned the guy from Honduras. Yeah, Honduras would be the home of what is it called? It's another one of those independent island things. The name has just gone out of my head. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that so you can understand. Video in link description. Let's finish on Usha.
But also they'd be promised, the tech bros would be promising Trump cryogenics and stuff. You can live forever, bro.
Yeah.
Let us have free reign. So this comes up every 10 years. There's an equivalent of this, which is, you know, high-tech utopia without any messy people who aren't meant to be there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
what were you going to say, Sheila?
I said, this really, really stinks of Elon's money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's all of them. It's all of them. It's all of them.
Yeah.
And they'll all be there with the Neuralink and they'll all be wired up to the internet and be like, we love the leader. It's just ridiculous. And they want Greenland because it's cold, folks, because it's cold. There, you don't need to use the millions of gallons of water every day to keep those bloody chips going, yeah? Because they've got all the ice. They just stick the bloody things in the ice. You just leave them out in the open. Anyway, Nick Minks asks, in other news, Usha Vance has announced that she's expecting in July. With Levitt also expecting, why is it I can't help but see Musk as daddy? And she's put some laughing emojis there. No, Caroline Levitt. I've seen the husband. I guess Vance had to do something to subdue other rumors. So let's just read on that. Let's have a read. Shall we do a read on Usha Vance and see how she's feeling and what this all means in the wider ploy for JD Vance to try and get himself elected as president? Yeah. Now, Lisa can end on something a bit lighter. Who's going first this time? Will it be you, Lena? I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's Lena. All right. So Usha Vance. Let's see what's going on. Fourth child on the way. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
how perfect. The Empress. How perfect. Can't make it up, folks.
Oh, look, the universe is having a little giggle. Right. Yeah. The Empress, the card of pregnancy and fertility and all of that could be twins.
Yeah, indeed. I can't believe the Empress came out. I mean, it's just perfect. Just remarkable. And look here, what the card I've got. That's your interpretation, Lydia. I've got the 8 of Pentacles. So look, they're working hard. They want to be seen to be working hard on their marriage. Yeah, this is about building a leadership campaign just as much as anything. Yeah, because think about it. She has the baby arrives, and our family values. It's for me, it's just a bit of hard work and a bit of grift. Lady G.
Yeah.
Well, underneath of it all, what I got was the harvest. And the harvest is trying to temper things, bringing in some temperance for them. Yeah.
And
so it's copacetic. It's good, because we had all the big thing with Erica and all of that. And so, yeah, they're trying to calm that down.
The real juice would be if Erica Kirk gets pregnant.
Well, yeah.
Because you're not supposed to have an abortion if you're a good, child of Christ.
Or being pregnant without a husband. Or being pregnant without a husband.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got the 5 of Pentacles. And I am an empath, so I'm going to tap into the lack of love, the lack of a real relationship that they have between them. However, they do have to stomp out some rumors and stuff like that. Keep him looking like he's a good husband and she's a good wife. Or, you kind of like you're staying. Usha, you're staying. You're pregnant now. You're staying. Also, on the other side, I wonder, how which couch she got pregnant on.
Yes,
indeed. And if we take our cards diagonally, Sheila, and then if we take, Lady G's and Lena's diagonally, it really does explain both sides of the story, isn't it?
Yeah,
she's been put to work. Yeah,
yes.
this is work. This is like, how do we restore my chances? Yeah, Una, and be like, all right, we'll have a baby, so get to work. Otherwise, I'm going to be out in the cold. That's what JD Vance is saying. I'm going to be out in the cold. If you don't do this work for me, it's going to ruin my chances.
But here's the thing, Hogie. The complication is 3 biracial children. Is that going to bring MAGA back to the fold? I don't think so.
Well, they're saying it's the 4th. They're saying it's the 4th kid.
Oh, the 4th or whatever.
Yeah. The 4th is on the way. So, and
they already know the gender of the child, so she's been pregnant for a while. Because they announced it was a boy or I don't know, but when they were announcing it, they said they were expecting, and I forget, I think it's a boy. They already know the gender.
I know, but that's everybody these days, and I find it's really weird when they say, "Oh, we're just letting you know we're pregnant and it's a girl," and I think, "Oh, used to be a surprise."
It used to be. But so she's due in July, so she's been pregnant for a while.
Yeah. She's been pregnant for a while. Wow.
So why announce it now? What with the conflict, the arguing out in public, it's all, without me doing a little deep dive into what's going on with that whole dynamic, we're going to divorce. Well, I can't. I'm pregnant now. You know what I mean? You're going to I don't know.
It's just work.
It's very weird.
It's just for the campaign. That's all. It's literally, for me, it's the 8 of Pentacles. It's just work on rebuilding the brand. That's
but
really
I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah. I mean, I wish her the best anyway, because pregnancy can be a very vulnerable time in a woman's life, as we have seen. So I wish her a healthy pregnancy, and I hope it all goes well. I just separate her out from that because I don't know anything about Usha, to be honest, but it's just another child into that whole yuck of the whole thing. But anyway, that aside, just on that human level. Well, look, folks, we've run to time, of course. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I know it was a bit intense, particularly with question number 6, but we had to go there. We had to go there. See this, and I shared the website so you can see they want to go off and live in this utopia, this tech biotech chip implanted utopia, and try and control the world from long way away. So when we try and shoot down their data centers, they're too far, and then they can do all their rubbish that they want to do in space. I don't think it's going to quite work out, because particularly if the financial plug is pulled or the AI bubble bursts, then a lot of that will be scotched, and it will just be another pie in the sky, which I hope so. But the world is pushing back. Americans are pushing back. So I want to say as well done to those that have been protesting, fighting the good fight, and pushing back against this regime. It will only continue, and particularly when Jupiter becomes exalted in sidereal Cancer, everyone, as I've been saying, that was also the time of the French Revolution. So humanity, people are fighting back, but it's also with the whole world. And then eventually, hopefully, we can get this regime overthrown. And I'm going to try and change the timelines as well on my Sunday chat. So I'll leave it there. Thanks so much, ladies.
And just one thing before we go, I'm debuting the new show in 1 hour's time, or 9 p.m. EST on Erica's channel, In the Company of Cards.
Lovely.
So it's our first show.
There you go. Oh,
only 30 minutes, and it's going to be live.
Wonderful. So good luck with the show, Lena. I hope that works out well. We will leave it there, folks. We will see you the next time. Thank you to everyone for their questions, donations, all of that stuff, and just being here as we go through these rather tumultuous and strange and unusual times. But big love. All right.
Love
Bye-bye
to
for
you
now.
guys.
Cheers.
Stay strong.
Cheers. Bye-bye.